tell and rolling, go tell and rolling that everybody's call to him, he will come. She'll run to him like he's the one. His arms outstretched, but when she's done, he'll be torn apart.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look back at the Resident Evil 3 remake from 2020. So we did previously look at Resident Evil 2 remake for our look back series for Road to Requiem for Resident Evil Requiem. I know things might sound different in my voice. That is because I'm starting to use my new mic that I've gotten for Christmas. I had to get a USB little port that had a C type at the end to connect it to my phone so I could use it that way. So hopefully things sound much smoother and better. But let's just jump into a look back at Resident Evil 3 remake. So when I first played this game, I thought it was good. It was personally my favorite remake that they had at the time before Resident Evil 4 came out. And I loved the fights in this game, which you're going to see. You're going to see the Nemesis fights that I liked. There's one that you're not going to see because I don't think it had a point to it, really. It didn't help in the evolution of Nemesis, in my opinion. But it's just, this game was really good when I first played it. I loved Nemesis as an enemy, and I know the original was called Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, so it was about him, basically. But I can see the complaints from this game of the cut content of the giant sections like the clock tower and the underground tunnel system that some enemies were in and some enemies that were cut. I can understand that, but even though this game is shorter, I would say this game is still great. If you went back and played it and you just thought about how great it was and how great the characters evolved from the original, because apparently in the original Carlos was really poorly used in the game and everybody wanted him to die, basically. So that's what people were saying for the remake when they played it. But in my opinion, Carlos works in the remake. He is so much better. He is used way more better than the original from what I saw. In Nemesis, he is such a towering, epic enemy. I would say he's better than the Tyrant because you're seeing him throughout the entire game. And yeah, he is the main villain, but with Leon's campaign in 2, the Tyrant was the main villain also, even though Birkin was more of a main villain than him. But Nemesis, the evolution he has with the him on fire and then in the water and then just jumping, he's so huge, but he still has his look. And then at the end, when he turns into basically a cocoon and just comes out like a butterfly, it's awesome. And Jill's development is really good. You actually get a lot of her development and connection to Raccoon City and Umbrella, and that bond that she has with Carlos is really good too, because it seems like at the end of the game that they're gonna be kind of a couple, but they're not, which is okay to me. They're still partners basically. And then her at the end basically saying, "Oh, I'm gonna find out the truth from Umbrella and put a stop to it once and for all," which, if you play this game now and then look at Resident Evil Requiem's trailers, we're gonna find out the truth about Umbrella and what they actually were and why they made the viruses and why they did the whole thing in Raccoon City. We're gonna basically find out the truth to Umbrella once and for all, and it's gonna be awesome because it's gonna put an end to that story. Considering there are still more questions than answers that we had. But yeah, I just really liked this game. I mean, I would say now that I'm replaying these games and that I played Resident Evil 4 when it first came out, the remake, I would say 4's remake is better than this game, but I'm gonna have to say it. 4 or 3 remake is better than 2 remake. That's gonna be a hot take, but it's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and I just think 3 is better than 2, because 2, I feel like it has so much to where there is just a lot to not like. I loved the boss fights in the length of the game. I liked how I like a longer Resident Evil game than a shorter one. That's why I'm excited to actually go back to Resident Evil 4 Remake soon, after I get this uploaded. But I'm excited to be replaying these games and going through the story again and basically catching everything that I have missed and taking these campaigns slowly. That's why these videos are not coming out as fast as you guys might have think. But, yeah, I'm just taking these slowly, going through everything, getting everything, and just noticing things that I might have not noticed in the first time playing these. And I have every achievement for 2, 3, and 4 Remake, and basically 7 in Village, because I actually, I didn't think about going back to the games and fully achieving them, but when I really delved into the franchise and just wanted to do more, I took up the challenge of getting every achievement. And yes, it was difficult even with the harder modes, but it was fun just going back to these games and getting everything. I will say this, Resident Evil 3 was a pain in the ass to replay because you have to do Inferno mode and get an S rank in that. That was the worst achievement and playthrough I had to do in Resident Evil because of how hard it was. You basically need every single token from the shop to help you out, and that infinite rocket launcher also. It was fun at first, just go through it, but then when it got to like the final stretch, it was a pain in the ass. And I looked up videos of how people done it, and they were struggling too. But at the end of the day, I think this game was worth playing and going back for achievements, and it just holds a special place in my heart with Resident Evil. And I think it's, when I looked at gameplay and playthroughs of the OG3 or the OG trilogy, I would say Resident Evil 3 is the best one out of all 3 because of, just the concept of Nemesis. I mean, Nemesis is like one of my favorite villains in Resident Evil because of how they made him. He is just a target. Or he is just targeting the STARS members, and literally he has a voice line that is repeated, which makes him more menacing to deal with because he's going after STARS members, but he will take out anybody that gets in his way, which is good, which is really cool. And the fact that with Remake, he was just basically a mystery villain, that Jill did not know what the fuck it was. He was just a creature or a monster that was covered up in trash bag stuff and caution tape, which was funny. But just seeing the face reveal and like more of the trash bag coming off him was cool. And also you get a little Easter egg of the thing, of the containment thing that he came in. It was just dropped to the ground, and then he broke out of it and went after Jill. And the one thing they did change in the remake was that Brad was also another STARS member that was still in reconciliation with Jill. He didn't die to Nemesis in this version. He just died to a zombie bite. And then you play as Carlos, you find him biting Marvin, which is another thing. You find out the origin of how Marvin got bit by a zombie, because Resident Evil 3 Remake takes place before, between, and after Resident Evil 2 Remake. You get to see Raccoon City explode, and in Requiem, we'll see the aftermath of that explosion after 30 years, which is crazy. And it's gonna be so cool to go back to Raccoon City because there are so many good memories with these remakes and the OG games of the whole city and areas. We'll go back to RPD with Leon, and that's gonna be cool to go through. He'll live some trauma probably. But Resident Evil 3 just has a special place in my heart, and I could not be more happy to take up this challenge, or basically, challenge to go back and replay these games over again for like the 10th time because of a new mainline coming out. Because I count these remakes as a mainline game. But Sorry if I rambled on for too long. I want these videos to be nice and long, and I wanted to test out my new mic system with this video, basically. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys for the Resident Evil 4 Remake look back. I don't know when. Do not expect a date anytime soon, because that game is pretty long. With 16 chapters, it could take me maybe 16 to 18 hours to complete. And plus, I need to decide the footage I'm going to show in this for this game. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye.